Mary Kay said you can have anything in this world if you want it badly enough and you're willing to pay the price. Hi, I'm Angela Lalangata. I'm your sales director. I'm your coach, your mentor, your guide through this wonderful world of Mary Kay. This pink thing that you might be a little bit nervous that you got started into, I totally understand. And I just want to tell you that I wouldn't be the mother, the wife, the friend if it weren't for Mary Kay. And you might be a little bit nervous, but this business is more than just selling lipstick, and it's more than just making money. It's a lifestyle. Mary Kay started this company with the philosophies of God first, family second, and career third. She believed in praising women to success, and she believed in the golden rule, where we do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We also have what's called the Go Give spirit, when we do things that we don't really get paid on, but it's to help others around us. And she so valued others and their unique personalities and their thoughts, and believed that each woman had their own strengths that they could bring to the business as well as to those around us. She wanted every woman to realize how amazing they were, and she truly believed that we are all individuals and unique and fabulous in our own rights. The purpose of this video is to give you a roadmap to follow in getting your business off to the best possible start. It is a very simple business if you keep it simple. So I'll be giving you some suggestions on how you can run it more smoothly and as fast as you want. There are a few things to help you get started, and I'll be covering those. However, I just kind of wanted to share a little bit about my Mary Kay story and my journey. When I first got started, I was a poor college student. We were newlyweds. We definitely weren't making the big bucks. And I had acne all through high school and into college, tried everything under the sun to get rid of it. Nothing really worked. And when I came and tried the products, I was amazed how soft my skin felt. And I am sure you felt the same way the first time that you tried our Mary Kay products. They are amazing. I figured if I loved the products and I was sold, I was gonna be using those products for a really long time. And if I loved them, I knew others would too. The first thing I want you to know is this business works if you do. It's mathematical, it's not magical. When I first got started in Mary Kay, I didn't know much about skincare or makeup, and now I'm a professional makeup artist. Now, you don't have to know a whole lot about makeup right now, but just know if you're teachable and trainable, we can teach you all about skincare and makeup, and you can learn as much or as fast as you want. There were plenty of people that didn't really understand why I got started in this pink thing, or maybe worried that it was a multi-level or it was a scam and that I wasn't gonna make any money. But I look back and I'm so grateful that I didn't listen to those people, because I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't have the same lifestyle. I wouldn't have been able to take my kids to Disneyland and do some extra trips. We wouldn't have been able to purchase our home or some of the furniture that we have now currently. I just wouldn't be the woman that I am today. And I'm so grateful that I didn't listen to them, and I focused on the words of my sales directors and the mentors that I had around me. Rena Tarbett, a retired national sales director, said, if you wouldn't want to trade places with them, don't take advice from them. And I so agree, because what do they know about Mary Kay anyway? Just because a sister or friend wasn't successful doesn't mean that you're not going to be successful. There are a lot of people that get married and then they get divorced, but I wouldn't recommend not getting married, because I love my husband. I learned everything I know now after I started Mary Kay. So there shouldn't be any worries. As long as you're teachable and trainable, we can teach you. But my nerves kind of calmed down after I did some training, and that's kind of what this video is. So you can rewind it, you can rewatch different parts, and it will help you going forward, which is why I'm doing this recording. It's supposed to help with that. So I hope you focus on the first steps and your nerves really can calm down too. You don't have to wear a whole lot of makeup to be successful in Mary Kay. In fact, my recruiter, she, on a good day, wore chapstick and mascara. She was raised on a horse ranch with 4 older brothers and didn't wear a whole lot of makeup. And so as long as you love the product and you love how your skin feels, which I'm sure you did the first time you tried it, the skincare is really our bread and butter, and that's where you make your most money, because that's what they use every single day. I have been amazed at the money that I can make in Mary Kay, that you can have just put in a little bit of time and effort, and I feel like I'm paid what I'm worth. You know, sometimes you get a job and you're paid what the job is worth. In Mary Kay, you're paid what you put into it. And I absolutely love that. You might have come to get your products at a discount or just do it as more hobby, but I'm gonna talk to you as if you wanted to really run it like a full-time business, because sometimes you will have those times where you will need a little bit of extra money, and then you'll know and you'll have this training for. Who knows? Anything's possible. You can totally earn a car in just a couple of months if you really put in the time. How much money you make will depend on how much time and effort you put into it. At the beginning, I didn't really do a whole ton of parties, but once I was willing to work about 12 to 15 hours a week, that's when I earned my first car in just 4 months. And I promise, when you do that, you really can earn your car in just 3 to 4 months when you're putting consistent time and consistent bookings and parties together. So I hope you feel empowered to know you can make great money in Mary Kay. And if you have a pen and paper, please grab it so you can take notes while you're listening. Okay, number 10, I want you to open a separate checking savings account. That is, it can be at any bank or credit union. I usually recommend credit unions because there are usually less fees, but that's totally up to you. You can stay at the same bank that you're at, or you can do a completely different one. Some people like to have it completely separate so that they know that's their bank for their business, but that's up to you. But make sure that you do a checking account with a debit card attached to it, and if you can get a savings account, that's even better. Now, it doesn't have to be a business account, it's just more a personal account because there's usually more fees if it's a business account. And if you keep it separate, the IRS will take you more seriously, and it's not so hard when tax time comes. Also, if you muddle your funds in a family or even your personal checking account if you're single, you don't know what's profit or what you can spend, and it's just confusing that way. And I'll explain how to run your money a little bit later, but just know you need to open a personal checking and savings account. Number 9, stay connected to me, your sales director, also your recruiter. Make sure that your email address, your cell phone, and your mailing address is correct on Mary Kay InTouch. If it's not, then Mary Kay won't know where to send things, and that's where I use how to figure out where to send things to you as well. So make sure that address and email and phone number is correct. Also, make sure that you friend me on Facebook so I can add you to our unit Facebook group, because I always do all of the new things that are coming up as well as anything local that you're going to want to find out about. You'll also want to download the Voxer app. It's kind of like a walkie-talkie, and I love it for this purpose because you can send me a message at your convenience and then I can respond at my convenience. We don't have to touch base with a phone call, and it's so much better than text because you get to hear my voice and I get to hear your voice. And the best part of it is when there's something like training, or if you want to know how to book someone, you're going to need to hear my voice. And the best thing, you can re-listen to it over and over again. So I absolutely love Voxer. That's super important. Number 8 is download all the important apps, including Voxer, but then we have a few more. We have a My Customers app that's totally free that keeps you all of your inventory and any products that people have purchased, you can have right there on your phone. I love the My Customers app. Also, download Digital Showcase, Pick Collage so you can do invites for your classes, and Venmo and ProPay. Now, ProPay is a credit card processing account. I recommend ProPay just because it can be synced to your website and you can do direct orders from there. Number 7, get personal and customer tools set up. Go to marykayintouch.com, www.marykayintouch.com. Put in your consultant number or your consultant ID, and then you're going to click Forget Password for the very first time so that you can create a password. Also, make sure you sign up for the ProPay account because it is my preferred way to do credit card processing fees because it's directly attached to your website and they can input their credit cards right there. Also, it's linked so you can use that money for your orders. You don't have to use ProPay, but just make sure that if you want to use credit cards, you'll want to use something. So you can use PayPal or you can use Square, but that's totally up to you. My preference is ProPay. I recommend having business cards. It's super professional and you can hand them out And you can either design them on your own or you can use what's on MK Connections. And they have really cute products on there, or you can even put your picture on there as well. I recommend for the very first time ordering your business kit because it comes with everything. It's only $40. You get 250 business cards as well as the product labels that go on the back of a product so that your customers know where your name and your phone number is and they don't have to go searching for it. You also get a name badge and you get an address stamp labeler. Number 6, it's time for training. Make sure that you come to our weekly training meetings. I've never met a consultant that's earned their car or become a sales director that didn't come to unit meeting regularly. I highly recommend, even if you aren't local to me, find out what zip codes are around you and I'll find an adoptee sales director that's in your area and we can plug you into that local unit meeting, because sometimes you're an entrepreneur and you get all the bonuses of that, but sometimes we become a little lackadaisical and when we have bad days or bad weeks or you didn't get as much sales, then you might not work the way that you're supposed to. And so it's just like plugging in your iPhone where you just need to do that regularly and get kind of pumped up and get that energy. That's the same thing with our Mary Kay unit meetings. When you have a bad week, you need the unit meeting, and when someone else has a great week or you have a great week, they need to fill into you and they give you your great ideas, and you also get amazing training there as well. So make sure that you do that, as well as know that we have tons of training. We have what's called MKU that you can go on to Mary Kay In Touch and learn about the business, as well as about products, skincare, become skincare confident or color confident, and you'll learn so much about the products and the company that way. We also have tons of Voxer trainings. I have video trainings, we have audio trainings, and so much more. We also have the $1 Million Message Monday through Friday that you can call into, and it's just kind of a fun pick-me-up, and they usually do things that's relative at the moment, and so it's really great to call in. It's national sales directors and really top sales directors, and so that's great. So school's never out for the pro. That's one of the things that Mary Kay always said, and I believe it. Make sure that you're staying on top of your training and you're learning and listening as you go. I use my car as a training center. I don't listen to music very often. I have books on tape. I have trainings. I have things from seminar and speeches that I can fill me up all the time. And I'd recommend you do that as well. And if you are really wanting to move up fast in this business and earn your car and become a sales director, make sure that you ask me about weekly training, because I do some weekly coaching and that might be a really good fit for you. Number 5, become familiar with your business and the products. Pull out a lookbook, figure out what products we have and the things that you would recommend to friends and family and the things that you might want to try or the things that you love. Also, there's Skincare Confident and Color Confident that you can learn about the products. And on Product Central, there's a fact sheet on every single product that you can find out about claim benefits, ingredients, and the best people that you'd recommend for those products. And you can even print them out and put them in a wow book or a focus folder. And then when you're running late or you're sitting waiting somewhere, you can read all about the products and you can always be in the know. The more you know about the product, the more you sell. The more you use also will be the more you sell. Number 4, create a contact list. I sometimes call it a wedding list. I always like to have you have at least 50 to 100, maybe even 150 names on it. And think about people that are not just close friends and family, but your neighbors, your high school friends, your college friends, your husband's high school and college friends, soccer moms, your kids' friends, all of those people. Even if you don't know the person's name, you can put cute lady at the bank and then find out her name and number, and then you can contact her about that. I love for you to highlight or star the people that have 3 different characteristics. Those things are people that you would love to work with, women that you'd love to work with. The number 2 thing is women that have been successful in their business or successful in their jobs currently or in the past. And the 3rd thing is people that you admire, people that you want to have be on your support team, and people that you would love their opinion. So those people are the ones that we're gonna wanna share about facts about Mary Kay early on in the business. Number 3, figure out your top 10 or even your top 5 of the women that you want to first share a little bit more about the facts about Mary Kay. Best case scenario, they might want to do this with you and you can make some extra money and work with a good friend. Worst case is they know more about the business. They usually become way more supportive. They know how to refer business to you and they know why you're doing it. And when they hear more about Mary Kay, they really usually can understand that it's not multi-level and that Mary Kay really has a heart. And they can feel that. And they love that it's local and that they're building a local economy and a local friend and her business. And so it's a win-win situation. Number 2, schedule your business debut or your pink party. It's a whirlwind of fun. It's a way that you can invite your friends and family to basically say, hey, look at what I started and come try the products. And you book parties, you sell product, and potentially get new team members as well. And after the business debut, or before you have it, but you want to book after your business debut, is some of those parties. So book your first 3 to 5 to even 10 appointments. And that will really help you get going in your business, and it will make you more successful, because Mary Kay always said the success in your business is directly linked from the distance between one class to the other. And I have found that to so be true. If you do one party and then a week or two you do another, you kind of forget what you needed to practice or get better at. When you do it every couple of days or 2 or 3 times a week, you remember, okay, I needed to work on this. Okay, I was really good at this. And you can just build on that. So make a goal today, become a master skincare consultant. Become great at the skincare class and at your parties. I would recommend booking your Power Start. Now, in parentheses by that, I want you to put 30 faces in 30 days. You're just getting their opinion about the product and you're practicing your presentation skill. And that's super important. Make a goal to be a master at your skincare class. When I first started Mary Kay and my sales director asked me to get 30 people to try the product, I almost fell off my chair because I was a poor college student. All I knew were poor college students. And so I didn't really know if I knew 30 people that would actually try the products. But I started with just 5 or 6 people and asked if they'd be willing to let me borrow their face and practice my presentation skills. And then they invited 4 or 5 of their friends and I was able to build my business from there. But the more you have, the easier it is to build that momentum. Now, make a note that you need to pull out booking scripts, whether it's Perfect Power Start booking scripts or the 21-day challenge, and make sure you practice those scripts, because I, for one, thought they were a little bit silly and I didn't want to use them. But I wasn't really getting the results that I wanted, and I went to my sales director and she asked me if I was using the script and I told her no. And that was just because it felt awkward to me. It felt like they would know that I was reading a script and it just didn't feel like me. And she said, practice it where it becomes more like you. And the more I did, it really just started to flow better and it felt more like me. And I promise you, scripts is the way to go. In this business, it really helps when you use tried and true ways. It's not saying that people are going to be forced into doing it. It just helps them make a choice instead of saying yes, but without choosing a day or time. And so I would highly recommend figure out which booking script sounds right for you. And then the more you practice it, the more it will feel like you and it won't feel like you're just reading a script. I want you to know that the best way is practicing. You might wonder why I'm asking you to book these parties before you even really know how to do a party. And you can do parties with your director if she does group classes, but just know that it's kind of like riding a bike. You're never going to learn how to ride a bike if you read a book on it, or if you watch a video clip of it, or you can even watch someone do it. But ultimately, you need to get up there and you need to practice and do. And that's kind of how the skincare class is. And so just know it's not going to be perfect. Guess what? Even after so many years in the business, there are still things that sometimes I forget to do or that people have kind of got me off track. And so just know that it's never going to be perfect. But the more you do it, the more you'll be able to ask questions on things that have, held you up or things that you're not great at. And that's how we make you a master at your class. Okay, number 1, I think the most important thing for you to do is figure out how you want to run your business. Do you want to be more of an order taker, or do you want to have product on hand? And if you decide you want to have product on hand, how much? Do you want a shoebox full? Do you want a full store like Walmart Superstore or even like CVS? So we'll kind of go over those options to figure out what's best for you. And because there's some time sensitive bonuses that you can get, I want you to make sure that you finish watching this in full and make sure that you make the decision within the next 24 to 48 hours, because then we can get your finances ready and then we can get your order and hopefully get that product in before your first party or your business debut. The first option is order taking. It's kind of like Tupperware, where basically you would go to the party, you would collect the money, figure out what people wanted to purchase, you would go home, you'd order the product from the company, you'd wait for it to be shipped. Usually it would take 4 to 5 days, sometimes up to 2 weeks, depending on the time of the month that you're ordering. You would wait for the products, and then you would label the products, divide them to figure out which products go to which person and customer, and then you would call them up, see what time would work. Either they could pick it up or you'd need to go deliver it. And that's kind of how you'd run it. Okay, second option is having inventory on hand. And I know some of you might have butterflies in your stomach. You weren't necessarily planning on investing anything more. And I'll tell you what, I wasn't either. But the more my director really explained the benefits of it, I decided I really wanted to give it a shot as a business. And if I was gonna do that, I felt like I needed to run it like a business and I wanted to stock product on hand. It's kind of like going to Walmart. You don't go order milk a week in advance. You go in, you shop for it, and then they restock their shelves. Same thing with clothes. You don't order out of a catalog unless it's online. But for the most part, a lot of times you really like to go see, try, feel, touch to really figure out if it works best for you. And that's kind of the same thing with Mary Kay. So I understand the butterflies, but hopefully we'll go through it and I'll kind of explain a little bit more of the benefits and the reason why. Honestly, Mary Kay, when you choose to purchase product, it's not a debt. It's an investment. If you were to look at a spreadsheet for taxes or anything like that, having product on hand is considered an investment. So if you were to go out and buy a car or a couch tomorrow, and then you decided you didn't want it a week later, you wouldn't even get the money that you paid for it. And that's a debt. If you were to purchase product and invest in having product on hand, you can sell that product and make twice your money. That's an investment. If you were to do it on a spreadsheet for taxes or anything like that, it is considered an asset. It's considered something that you can sell. And one of the things that I absolutely love about having product on hand is if you have an unexpected purchase, your car breaks down, your house, has an issue, you need to buy a new fridge or a stove or whatever, you have all that product lying on that shelf. All I need to do is go call some people up, try to book some more parties, and I can make that money. It's like you don't even have to ask for a raise. You can instantly give yourself a raise anytime you want. And I love that. I love that I have product on my shelf that I can call customers, I can book more parties if I need a surge of income. And that is amazing to be able to do. Okay, there are 3 main things that I wanted to go over about inventory. Number 1 is inventory isn't mandatory. You already did the only thing that's mandatory, which was order your starter kit. Number 2 is most of the products have at least a 3 to 5 year shelf life. So it's not like you have to go sell it in 3 to 6 months and have it off your shelf. And then the last thing is you have a 90% satisfaction guarantee. 90%. Mary Kay is willing to give a 90% buyback guarantee that if you give a year to try Mary Kay to see if it's working for you, and if you decide, you know what, I just don't love it, it's not working for me, you can send all of your products, including the free stuff that we'll talk about later, and you get 90% back. I don't know any business that gives you a 90% guarantee. And I'm not sure even your parents would give you a 90% guarantee. You only have to take 10% risk. And even when the free stuff comes, you get 90% off that. And so usually the free stuff covers the 10% and sometimes even more, so you make money. So how that works is you can send all of your unopened, unused product back to Mary Kay. You have a year to give it a shot, and if you don't love it, then they crush the products and they'll give you 90% of your money back. That even includes the free stuff. So it tends to be not even a 10% risk. Sometimes you even make money off of it. So I love that. And honestly, that's really one of the biggest reasons why I decided that, hey, it was okay for me to give it a shot, because it was kind of that safety net. I didn't know if I was going to be any good at it. I didn't know if other people would purchase from me And so it was kind of that safety net that I was like, I'll try it. And if it's not for me, I can send it back. And I loved that I could have that feeling of kind of security in starting my own business, where I know that you do not get that option if you started like a Subway or something like that. Okay, there are a few reasons why I chose to have product on hand, and I kind of wanted to share those benefits for you to maybe help make your decision. The first thing is the eye buy is what they see. When they see the product on hand, they see how cute it is, they love how their skin feels, they want to go home with it that night. The second thing is your sales will increase. You will sell more because they know they can add on a mascara, a moisturizer, maybe things that they were going to go to the store later and get, but because they fell in love with the one that you had, they're ready to buy it now. Because most women don't wait until a week before they're ready to be out of the product to order. They are squeezing the last drop of it. I don't know about you, but I was using a Q-tip to get out all my foundation before I started Mary Kay. And kind of the same thing with like toothpaste. Are you the one that squeezes it all the way to the last drop before you grab another tube? A lot of people are like that. And so your sales will definitely increase. The third thing is your customers will become more loyal to you. I always feel like, have you ever heard the saying of you can only make a first impression once? I think that's true with our business. If you have the product right away and give that to them the first time that they are buying the product, they'll expect that in the future and they know they can get it right away from you. If you make them wait a week or two to get their product, they kind of expect that in the future as well, even if you plan to build up to that. And so it takes a little while for them to get used to it if you don't start with inventory on hand. And so I think that's a really important thing. It's more of a selfish reason for me. I didn't want to take the time to have to go deliver product every single day. I wanted the transaction to be final. I wanted them to give me their money. I wanted to give them their product until the next time that they needed to reorder. I didn't want to have to go deliver. And so you'll spend your time more efficiently when you have product on hand because you can give it to them right away. The next thing is Mary Kay has a deal with UPS and USPS where we spend maybe $9 to $10 for shipping, and that can be 10 boxes worth of product. It can be one box, or it can be one moisturizer. And so your profit level margin goes way higher because you're not having to purchase and pay for that shipping every single week. You wouldn't want to hold a party at the beginning of the month and make them wait till the end of the month before you were to order it. And then it would take another week or two to get it. So you definitely can maximize that profit margin when you have products on hand and you're only having to order once a month to restock your shelves. The last thing is you receive an incredible amount of free stuff. I know for me, I got a ton of free stuff and you get even more now. You can get up to $1,500 free with a full store. Come on, that is amazing. That way covers the 10% risk and you usually end up making money for that. Okay, so now let's talk inventory options and skincare lines. What are the choices for you to put in your product line? Okay, let's talk about our different options and what you put into your inventory, the different lines. In our core line, we have skincare, we have skincare supplements, and then we have color. And that does include the CC Cream and Mineral Powder foundations. In our specialty lines, we have body care, fragrances, limited edition, men's line, and then all 6 lines of foundation. Okay, the first level of inventory is our 5400. It's our Pearl Plus. It's like the Walmart Superstore where you get everything, multiple of everything, and it's got all the extras. So you get pharmacy, you get skincare, beauty, clothes, groceries, and you might even have an oil change. That's our Pearl Plus level. You're getting multiples of everything. You're gonna get the class presentation set, and you're gonna be able to pull one of everything off that you want off your shelf to use. You get over $1,504 free, and the total that you'll need with that, whether it's a loan or a credit card, would be $6,500. The next level is our 4,800. It's our Pearl level. It would be like just a regular Walmart, and you get all of the core products, but you would take off one of the specialty lines. So a lot of times it would be limited edition, unless it was Christmas time, and then I might choose one of the others. Now, with that order, you would get up to $1,389 free, and you would need about $5,800 for your loan or your credit card. At our next level, it is our 4200. 4200 is our Emerald Plus level. It would be like a Walmart neighborhood grocery store where you're getting all of the basics, a little bit of the extras, but probably not as many of them. And you're going to get all of our core products, skincare, supplements, and color. And then you're going to choose 3 of our specialty line products. With that order, you're going to be able to get $1,273 free. And for your loan or credit card, you'd need about $5,100. Okay, the next level is our last profit level inventory. It's $3,600. It's our Emerald order. It would be like a CVS. And it has everything, all the basics, not as many. And you would get all of our core products, and you'd only get 2 of the specialty lines. So you'd want to really make sure which ones that would work best for. You would also have enough of a roll-up bag for yourself and the class presentation set, just not all the color eyeshadows if you wanted the color palettes filled. Now, with that level, you're going to get $1,158 free. And you're gonna need to about have $4,300 for your loan or your credit card. Now, below that, I want you to mark $3,600 is the lowest profit level inventory. If you have that inventory option sheet, that's where I'm gonna want you to have that line, is below $3,600. All of that over above is going to be profit level. Okay, the 3,000 level is our diamond store. It's not a profit level, but it's still a good level to start with. You're not going to have everything, but you are going to be able to have products for yourself. You're going to be able to do a class presentation set, and you just wouldn't be able to get the palette filled for the color parties. Now with that set, you're going to get over $1,000 free, and the total that you'll want for your loan or inventory would be $3,600. Now the next level is our 2,400. It's our Ruby level, and this is where you're not going to get all of the core products. We're going to slowly start getting rid of some of those colors, and you're not going to be able to stock all the different lipstick lines. You're going to get at least one of every eyeshadow and cheek color. You're just not going to have as big of a store, and you're going to probably have about a partial color store. The 1,800 level is the lowest level inventory that I consider inventory. It's almost everything of the basics. So you're gonna get all the skincare sets, you're gonna get supplements, and then you're just gonna get kind of the basic colors, a little bit of the colors that are mostly sold. Now with that level, you get over $684 free, and you would need about $2,400 for your loan or your credit card. The last 2 levels are really more for hobby level consultants, or people that just are wanting to get their own products and maybe sell to friends and family. The 1,200, you are going to receive still some free stuff, and that's $491 free. And at the 600 level, that's the lowest level that you get any free stuff, and you do receive $333 free. That's great if you're just hobbying it. Stock up for the year for what you and your family need, and you're set. Now the last thing I want you to remember is the full amount of free product that I'm talking about, you would need to do it within those first 15 days. Because remember that color look that you get for free? You have to do that in the first 15 days. So remember, make your decision in the next 24 to 48 hours, and we'll be able to get that in plenty of time. Now that you understand the different levels of inventory, write down if you have any other questions, and then when we get together, I can answer them for you. So I want you to be able to make that best decision, and I want all of your questions answered. Now, if you choose not to have product on hand, that's totally fine, but I usually recommend building to a profit level inventory so that eventually you'll be able to give your products to your customers right away. Okay, so right now I want you to find a piece of paper because I want to show you how you're going to run your money, whether you have product on hand or whether you don't. We're going to draw a little diagram, and it's my job to teach you how to run your money. It's your job to actually do it so that you're not embezzling, okay? I'm going to do a diagram, and I want you to draw a triangle on your paper. At the top of the triangle, you're going to write what is the level of inventory that you're going to start with or the profit level inventory that you're going to build to. So if you do 5,400, and that's the inventory that you're going to start with or you're going to build to. on the bottom left triangle, you're going to put 60%. Now, technically, we do make 50%, but we do have a little bit of overhead. Most stores or most businesses, their profit margins are not nearly as high and they have much larger overhead, but we usually do 10%. So 50% is going to go to the product. So if someone were to purchase the product, you're going to have to restock your shelves. 10% is going to go to sales aids, samples, and hopefully it will cover your training and things like that. Okay? Then over here, you're going to put 40%. 40% is going to go to your either savings account, or this can go directly into your family or personal account. Okay? This is going to be, the 60% is going to be basically your MK checking account. Now, if you were to hold a party and it was $500, write that in the middle. Then on the left side, if you were to break that up into 60-40 split, you're going to deposit $300 in the 60% and $200 in the 40%. And if you chose to pay for your inventory through a loan or a 0% credit card, favorite way is to do a 0% credit card, just because you can have that paid off within your first year after you get your tax return back. So that's usually what I recommend, but you can do it a different way. So you're going to originally pay for this inventory with your 0% credit card, okay? Or however you choose to do it, / loan, whatever. Okay, so if you start with inventory, this is how your money is going to go. This $300 is going to go to restock the $5,400 inventory. So the idea is that you don't stock your product once and then depreciate it and then have to stock it back up again. You're going to always stay at this $5,400 level, or then you grow once you get more customers. So that $300 is going to restock your inventory. Okay. Now this $200, your very first class of the month, I always recommend it go to pay for your loan or credit card. Now you can do the minimum payment, or you can do the full amount of whatever that party sales is, so that you're making a little bit more than your minimum payment. And so that's why I usually recommend the first party always goes to pay off the credit card or the loan for the month. Then the rest of the parties, if you had another $500 party, $300 goes into the 60%, $200 goes into your family, or this now is going to be profit. So you can immediately put it into your family or your savings account. Okay, does that make sense? So every single party after that, you're going to be going through and you're going to be adding to your, and every single time this side goes to restock, this side goes to profit, and all of your savings family, if you're going on a vacation, however you're going to save that, that is totally up to you. So this 40% is your profit. Okay? Now, if you don't have inventory or you don't start with inventory, then the way that you're going to run your money is a little bit different. What happens is you're going to still have to purchase, all of this money is going to have to purchase the original product. For your customer. And if you start at a lower level, non-profit level inventory, say 1,800 even,
If you're wanting to build to a full profit level inventory, then you're still going to want to do this, whether you start with 0 or a non-profit inventory. You're going to want to take all of this and you have to reinvest this money. And that's going to go to start stocking, it's going to start building your inventory. Now, this way, you are making a profit technically, but because you're needing to reinvest and build your inventory to this level, then you sometimes can get frustrated because you're not seeing the profit right away. So the reason why we consider the 3,600 to 5,400 level as profit level, you can start taking this profit right away and you don't have to reinvest to build up to that inventory. If you start with 0 or a lower level inventory and you're really needing to build up to a full profit level inventory, then this profit is going to go to reinvest and then you start building your inventory. So that's how you run your money, whether you have inventory or whether you don't.
Okay, now you can kind of see why I talk about having profit level inventory. So you are getting a profit no matter what, but you're building your inventory, and so that's why it can be a little bit frustrating at the very beginning. But if that's what you have to do, then you can do that. Now, whether you start from scratch or you're starting with inventory, you don't want to embezzle. And sometimes you'll hear people that said, oh, I knew someone and she just got into debt, or she didn't make any money. And usually the reason why they're not successful in Mary Kay is either poor time management or poor money management. And so my first question would be, how many parties did they do? A lot of times it's not that many. But if they did hold parties and the reason why they were too high on the investment, it's because they didn't run their money correctly. So what happens is if you have that $500 party and say your car breaks down, some people will choose to use that $500 and they'll pay for the car replacement or fixing your fridge or something like that. The problem with that is it's embezzling. You're using funds from your business that shouldn't be used. The profit side of it you can use. But if you were to go shopping or you were to fix something with that $500, what happens is then you don't have enough money to restock your shelves at the end of the month. So what they would do is they would take that trusty credit card and they would put another order on it. And that's why the credit card constantly went up instead of coming down. That's why people said that they didn't really make any money, but really it's usually the money management part of it. And so as long as you're good with your money and you have great money management, you won't have this problem. So please, please promise me that you will run your money correctly and I won't have to bring the pink police after you, okay? Just kidding, they don't actually come. You might be thinking, how am I gonna pay for this? And I know I did too. I didn't have credit, neither did my husband. And so what we ended up doing was a collateral loan. I had paid cash for my car and we just got a car loan. It actually helped our credit score, which was great, but also it gave me a minimum payment that I paid off and we were able to pay it off much quicker. Now, nowadays, I prefer 0% credit cards because you don't have to pay fee or interest for 6 months to a year sometimes. And if you use that tax return to pay off your investment, you don't have to pay interest at all. And so that's why I recommend the 0% interest rate. But if you have a hard time paying more than the minimum payment, or if you think you're not going to be able to pay off your tax return, then you might want to choose something that's more of a loan and that you know when you're going to have that completely paid off for. Also, I learned that someone that helps improve credit, she said that if you apply for multiple credit cards and you do it in one day, it only counts as one ding. I didn't know that. That's so cool. So if you had a couple of different credit cards you were trying to choose between, you can apply for 2 or 3, see which one of the benefits that you get best, and you can choose that one and we can use that one. So my first choice is the 0% credit card, just so you don't have to pay the interest for at least 6 to 12 months, sometimes even 18 months. And if that's not right, then you can get a loan and it will give you a minimum payment and it's usually paid off in 3 to 5 years. And you can do a collateral loan and have it be for a car, or you can just do a personal loan depending on your credit. The next thing you can do is like a family loan or a borrow from a friend where they might give you a better interest rate. Also, make sure that if you have someone co-sign on a loan, that they know about the 90% buyback guarantee, because that's so important. That's a really cool thing that can kind of ease their mind that if you totally stink at this or you don't love it, you can get your money back and they'll be able to get their money back and pay off that loan. And just trust that I know what people order and what you're going to sell the most of. And so you're going to be able to get the things that are sold the very most, and you won't have to be worried that you're going to get stuck with a ton of foundations that aren't, you don't have any customers for, or those colors that you don't think you'll ever use yourself. You're not going to be stuck with those. All right, the last thing is I want you to decide. Decide now to be successful. Decide how you want to run your business. Remember to do the top 10 things and focus on that this first week so that you can get jump started on your business. The other thing is if you apply for your credit card or your loan and you have your finances available before we meet, then it can make the process so much smoother, so you get an extra prize. Now, the last word is success. Make sure you let me know that the key word is success so that I know you're ready to move up to the next steps of your Mary Kay successful career.